Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shila Nastiti from 2021 DC, and I will presentate about ISTE standard for educators. Based on our discussion, this text is a descriptive text because it describes what educators have to do based on these 7 points. The first structure is identification. It describes about what educators as a learner, leader, citizen, collaborator, designer, facilitator, and analyst. Let's discuss one by one. Educators continually improve their practice by learning from and with others to exploring proven and promising practices that leverage technology to improve student learning. The second is the leader. Educators seek out opportunities for leadership to support student empowerment and success to improve teaching and learning. The third is citizen. Educators inspire students to positively contribute and responsibly participate in the digital world. The fourth is the collaborator. Educators dedicate time to collaborate with both colleges and students to improve practice, discover and share resources and ideas, and solve problems. The fifth is designer. Educators design authentic, learner-driven activities and environment that recognize and accommodate learner variability. The sixth is the facilitator. Educators facilitate learning with technology to support student achievement of the 2016 ISTE standards for students. The seventh is the analyst. Educators understand and use data to drive their instruction to support students in achieving their learning goals. The second structure is description. It describes what educators have to do based on the 7 points of ISTE standard for education. First, educator as a learner. Educators have to set professional learning goals to explore and apply pedagogical approaches made possible by technology and reflect on their effectiveness. B. Pursue professional interest by creating and actively participating in local and global learning networks. C. Stay current with research that support improved student learning outcomes, including findings from the learning sciences. The second is educators as a leader. Educators have to shape, advance, and accelerate a shared vision of empowered learning with technology by engaging with educator stakeholders. And educators have to advocate equitable access to educational technology, digital content, and learning opportunities to meet the diverse needs of all students. C. Model of colleges, the identification, exploration, evaluation, curation, and adoption of new digital resources and tools for learning. The third is educator as a citizen. The first point is create experience for learner to make positive, socially responsible contribution and exhibit empathetic behavior online that build relationship and community. Next is establish a learning culture that promotes curiosity and critical examination of online resources and foster digital literacy and media fluency. C. Mentor students in the safe, legal, and ethical practices with digital tools and the protection of intellectual right and property. And the last is model and promote management of personal data and digital identity and protect student data privacy. The fourth is educator as collaborator. In this point, educators have to dedicate planning time to collaborate with colleges to create authentic learning experience that leverage technology. The second point is collaborate and co-learn with students to discover and use new digital resources and diagnose and troubleshoot technology issues. The third point is use collaborative tools to expand students' authentic real-world learning experience by engaging virtually with experts, team, and students locally and globally. The last point is demonstrate cultural competency when communicating with students, parents, and colleges and interact with them as co-collaboration in student learning. The fifth is educator as designer. Educators have to use technology to create, adapt, and personalize learning experience that foster independent learning and accommodate learner differences and needs. authentic learning activities that align with content area standards, and use digital tools and resources to maximize active, deep learning. C. Explore and apply instructional design principles to create innovative digital learning environments that engage and support learning. The sixth is educators as a facilitator. Educators has to foster a culture where students take ownership of their learning goals and outcomes in both independent and group settings. Educators have to manage the use of technology and student learning strategies in digital platforms, virtual environments, hands-on marker spaces, or in the field. Educators have to create learning opportunities that challenge students to use a design process and computational thinking to innovate and solve problems. Educators have to model and nurture creativity and creative expression to communicate ideas, knowledge, and connection. The last is educators as analysts. Educators have to provide alternative ways for students to demonstrate competency and reflect on their learning using technology. Educators have to use technology to design and implement a variety of formative and summative assessments that accommodate learner needs, provide timely feedback to students, and inform instruction. The last is educators have to use assessment data to guide progress and communicate with students, parents, and education stakeholders to build student self-direction. Now I will explain about lexical-grammatical on description text. In this text, we use blue to adjective and green for simple present tense. In this text, the adjective word is continually, positively, and responsibly, and so on. And the simple present tense is improve, learning, exploring, promising, and so on. That's all from me. Thank you for watching, and if there is a wrong information, you can tell me which part of it in the comment section below. And assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.